Frederick Martin. Fred MacMurray was an American actor who appeared in more than 100 movies and a successful television series during a career that spanned nearly a half-century, from 1930 to the 1970s. MacMurray is well known for his role in the 1944 film noir Double Indemnity, directed by Billy Wilder, in which he starred with Barbara Stanwyck. Later in his career, he became better known worldwide as Steve Douglas, the widowed patriarch on My Three Sons, which ran on ABC from 1960 to 1965 and then on CBS from 1965 to 1972. Early life: MacMurray was born in Kankakee, Illinois, to Frederick MacMurray and Melita Martin, both natives of Wisconsin. When MacMurray was 2 years old, the family moved to Madison, Wisconsin, and later settled in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, where his mother had been born in 1880. He briefly attended school in Quincy, IL. He earned a full scholarship to attend Carroll College, in Waukesha, Wisconsin. While there, MacMurray participated in numerous local bands, playing the saxophone. He did not graduate from the school. Career: in 1930, MacMurray recorded as a featured vocalist with the Gus Arnheim Orchestra on All I Want Is Just One Girl on the Victor label and with George Olsen on I'm in the Market for You. Before signing to Paramount Pictures in 1934, he appeared on Broadway in Three's a Crowd and alongside Sidney Greenstreet and Bob Hope in Roberta. MacMurray worked with directors Billy Wilder and Preston Sturges and actors Barbara Stanwyck, Humphrey Bogart, Marlene Dietrich and, in 7 films, Claudette Colbert, beginning with The Gilded Lily. He co-starred with Katharine Hepburn in Alice Adams, with Joan Crawford in Above Suspicion, and with Carole Lombard in 4 films, Hands Across the Table, The Princess Comes Across, Swing High, Swing Low, and True Confession. Usually cast in light comedies as a decent, thoughtful character and in melodramas and musicals, MacMurray had become one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors. For 1943, when his salary reached $420,000, he was the highest-paid actor in Hollywood, and the 4th highest-paid American. Despite being typecast as a nice guy, MacMurray often said his best roles were when he was cast against type by Wilder. He is perhaps best known for his role as Walter Neff, an insurance salesman who plots with a greedy wife Barbara Stanwyck to murder her husband in Double Indemnity. 16 years later, MacMurray played Jeff Sheldrake, a 2-timing corporate executive in Wilder's Oscar-winning comedy The Apartment, with Shirley MacLaine and Jack Lemmon. In another turn in the not-so-nice category, MacMurray played the cynical, duplicitous Lieutenant Thomas Kiefer in 1954's The Caine Mutiny. In 1958, he guest-starred in the premiere episode of NBC's Cimarron City Western series, with George Montgomery and John Smith. MacMurray's career was revitalized in 1959, when he was cast as the father in the popular Disney Studios comedy, The Shaggy Dog. From 1960 to 1972, he starred in My Three Sons, one of the longest-running television series in the United States. Concurrent with My Three Sons, MacMurray stayed busy in films, starring as Professor Ned Brainard in Disney's The Absent-Minded Professor and in the sequel, Son of Flubber. Using his star clout, MacMurray had a provision in his son's contract that all his scenes be shot first. This freed him to pursue his film work and golf hobby. Over the years, MacMurray became one of the wealthiest actors in the entertainment business, and garnered a reputation for frugality. Studio co-workers noticed that even as a successful actor, MacMurray usually brought a brown bag lunch to work, often with a hard-boiled egg. According to his co-star on My Three Sons, William Demarest, MacMurray continued to bring dyed Easter eggs for lunch several months after Easter so as not to waste them. Friends and business associates jokingly referred to him as the thrifty multimillionaire. Over the years, MacMurray has proven to be a very skillful investor, particularly in California real estate. After the cancellation of My Three Sons in 1972, MacMurray made only a few more film appearances before retiring in 1978. In the 1970s, MacMurray appeared in commercials for the Greyhound Line's bus company. Towards the end of the decade, he was also featured in a series of commercials for the Korean Chosun Bop math calculation program. Personal life: MacMurray was married twice. He married Lillian Lamont on June 20, 1936, and the couple adopted 2 children, Susan and Robert. After Lamont died of cancer on June 22, 1953, he married actress June Haver the following year. He and Haver adopted 2 more children, twins Catherine and Laurie. They remained married until his death. In 1941 MacMurray purchased land in the Russian River Valley in Northern California and established MacMurray Ranch. He spent time there when not making films, engaging in, among other things, the raising of prize-winning Aberdeen Angus cattle. MacMurray wanted the property's agricultural heritage preserved, and it was thus sold in 1996 to Gallo, which planted vineyards on it for wines that bear the MacMurray Ranch label. Kate MacMurray, daughter of Haver and MacMurray, now lives on the property, and is actively engaged in Sonoma's thriving wine community, carrying on her family's legacy and the heritage of MacMurray Ranch. He was a staunch supporter of the Republican Party. He joined Bob Hope and James Stewart to campaign for Richard Nixon in 1968. Illness and death. MacMurray suffered from throat cancer in the late 1970s and it reappeared in 1987. He also suffered a severe stroke at Christmas 1988 which left his right side paralyzed and his speech affected, although with therapy he was able to make a 90% recovery. After suffering from leukemia for more than a decade, MacMurray died from pneumonia in November 1991, aged 83 in Santa Monica. He was entombed in Holy Cross Cemetery. In 2005, his second wife June Haver, aged 79, was entombed with him. Awards and influence. In 1939, artist C.C. Beck used MacMurray as the initial model for the superhero character who became Fawcett Comics' Captain Marvel. MacMurray was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor a Motion Picture Musical or Comedy for The Absent-Minded Professor. MacMurray was the first person honored as a Disney legend, in 1987. Filmography, features, short subjects, screen snapshots, art and artists, popular science, Hedda Hopper's Hollywood No. 1, Show Business at War, The Last Will and Testament of Tom Smith, screen snapshots, Motion Picture Mothers, Incorporated. Television, My Three Sons as Steve Douglas in 380 episodes, 1960 to 1972, references. External links. Fred MacMurray at the Internet Movie Database, Frederick MacMurray at the TCM Movie Database, Frederick MacMurray at the Internet Broadway Database, Frederick MacMurray's Cane Mutiny Costume, Wisconsin Historical Society, Frederick MacMurray at Disney Legends, MacMurray Ranch Timeline, Fred MacMurray Greyhound commercial on YouTube, literature on Fred MacMurray.